Greetings of peace to everyone. I gladly welcome you to the 7th Annual Commemoration of the Declaration of Peace and Cessation of War, or DPCW, with the theme Institutional Peace, Strengthening Communication to Build Trust. I am Tina Ryan, one of HWPL's Goodwill Ambassadors, your host for tonight. Here in the Philippines, I am delighted to see everyone virtually. I'm truly honored to be your host. Good evening and a warm welcome to our distinguished guests and participants, the peace advocates and peace messengers from different sectors, such as the lawmakers, politicians, religious leaders, NGOs, academia, youth, and women. Thank you for spending your time with us. Please give yourselves a heart reaction and a round of applause. Today, we are gathered to commemorate the proclamation of the 10 Articles and 38 Clauses of the Declaration of Peace and Cessation of War, or DPCW, on March 14, 2016, by the HWPL International Law Peace Committee, which is comprised of prominent international law experts from 15 different countries. It aims to restore the spirit that served as the basis for the establishment of the United Nations and to achieve sustainable peace by the universal values of the global community. And to begin this momentous event, let us listen to the congratulatory messages from different parts of the world.
Greetings for everyone, and congratulations on the 7th anniversary of the DPCW. Serving consecutively as Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister of Defense, and of Minister of Justice until 2020, I have the opportunity to think a great deal about the international community and world order. The conquest of territories, the killing of people, the destruction of infrastructure, yet they are taking place right before our eyes, causing concern not only for nearby states, but also for the global balance in the world. We are in a period of readjustment of international society in a world in competition, of course, and it is clear that we need a reset of the international society. The DPCW addresses these issues, and I believe that through the DPCW, countries can work together and will work together with us on the basis of a mutual respect. I would to express my gratitude to Chairman Lee from HWPL for our noble works towards the cessation of war and the realization of the peace. I hope that today's event will further accelerate the realization of the world of the peace. Thank you very much.
Thank you for inviting me to deliver a congratulatory message at HWPL's 7th Annual Commemoration of the Declaration of Peace and Cessation of War on March 14, 2023. Congratulations to HWPL and Chairman Lee Man-hee for the HWPL's 7th Annual Commemoration of the DPCW. I encourage all peace messengers in the Philippines and around the world to support HWPL's commemoration under the timely theme, Institutional Peace, Strengthening Communication to Build Trust. We are one with HWPL in sharing the core messages of DPCW. The actors of peace building are the citizens, and that a sustainable global order is not in governing by power, but by the rule of law, reaching harmony, fairness, and justice. Sincerely yours, Alexander G. Dismundo.
All the members of the Heavenly Culture World Peace Restoration of Light Philippines, a pleasant day to you all. As we celebrate the 7th anniversary of the proclamation of the Declaration of Peace and Cessation of War, let me congratulate Chairman Lee Man-hee and all the members of the HWPL family for this significant milestone. I would like to express my support to all of you in pursuing our goals of peace, security, and sustainable development. The pursuit of these noble goals is more pressing now, especially as we continue to face unexpected circumstances and life-threatening situations across the globe. In the spirit of unity, I encourage everyone to communicate and work tirelessly towards institutionalizing peace in our post-pandemic world. I join all peace leaders, messengers, and partners in establishing enduring and lasting peace here in the Philippines and in other nations. Let's win this together. We are one.
Warmest greetings to all the peace advocates worldwide. Congratulations to the Heavenly Culture World Peace Restoration of Life International Chairman Lee Man-hee and the Philippine delegation to the 7th anniversary of the Declaration of Peace and Cessation of War that was proclaimed on March 14, 2016 at Seoul, Korea. We welcome the efforts of the HWPL and Chairman Lee in going beyond borders and religions to sow the values of harmony, fairness, and justice and make peace a common aspiration of all humanity. Creating a blueprint to institutional peace may be considered grand, yet it is still a goal worth pursuing. May the peace movement initiated by HWPL continue to prosper, and may the endeavor for the adoption of an international law for lasting peace be attained in the near future. Thank you to Peace Movement ambassadors for spreading the culture of peace, and good luck in your legislate peace campaign. We support DPCW. We are one.
Assalamualaikum. Congratulations to HWPL on the 7th Annual Commemoration of the Declaration of Peace and Cessation of War. This yearly commemoration of DPCW is one great effort to get the United Nations to adopt DPCW as an international instrument for conflict resolution and cessation of war. Again, congratulations. Shukran.
The year 2023 marks the 7th anniversary of the proclamation of the Declaration of Peace of Cessation of War, or the DPCW, which aims to establish a world of sustainable peace. Under the theme of institutional peace, strengthening communication to build trust, heavenly culture, world peace, restoration of life. Congratulations, mabuhay, magandang araw sa inyo.
I am congratulating HWPL and Chairman Man-hee Lee for the HWPL 7th Annual Commemoration of the Declaration of Peace and Cessation of War. It is always our desire to support all activities of the Declaration of Peace and Cessation of War, to inspire and weaken all the peace leaders and messengers not only in the Philippines but around the world. This is Maria Teresa Artimbol, Local Chief Executive of the Municipality of Capalong, Davao del Norte, Philippines, saying, "We are one."
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Greetings of peace from Cotabato Legal Initiatives Incorporated, or KGI. Today marks the very momentous day, a day of reminiscing the past and celebrating the fruits of peace initiatives of our dearest HWPL, headed by Chairman Man-hee Lee. With all our love and support from Cotabato City, we congratulate the HWPL and and Chairman Manhili for the HWPL 7th Annual Commemoration of Declaration of Peace and Cessation of War. We stand and firmly support the DPCW advocacy to sustain the peace in our city and to the whole world. We are together for peace. We are one.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Stated in the preamble of the DPCW, or the Declaration of Peace and Cessation of War, is the universal commitment of the world's religions in the promotion of mutual respect, tolerance, and coexistence. Based on Philippines initiatives, along with the International Peace Youth Group, or the IPYG, shared common visions, that is, to protect the young ones by pledging themselves as a peace zone individuals in order to prevent them from becoming instrumentalities of hostilities. The PCPI, in its contributions towards peace-building efforts in the nation and the world at large, will remain and will continue to support the DPC Declaration. Khairun Nas and Ka'ahumun Nas, the best of people are those who brings benefits to the rest of mankind. I would like to congratulate the Heavenly Culture World Peace Restoration of Light with the leadership of Chairman Manhili for the 7th Annual Commemoration of the DPCW. We would like to reaffirm our commitment to supporting the DPCW. I am with you, we are one.
Congratulations to HWPL on the 7th Annual Commemoration of the Declaration of Peace and Cessation of War. I express my support for your peace works and efforts towards the establishment of sustainable peace through international cooperation. As a peace-loving individual, I believe that events such as these serve as important reminders of the necessity for global unity and the eradication of violence and conflict. I am one with you in your campaign to legalize peace in the international level through the DPCW. We are one.
Congratulations, HWPL. Happy 7th anniversary.
Yes, on your DPCW, we'd like to see the day na talagang mapunta yan sa UN para ipamahagi natin yan. World peace na talaga. That would be the day and that is the goal!
So, sumali kayo, supportahan natin. Peace tayong lahat, ha?
We are all ambassadors of peace.
Oo.
And we are one.
Congratulations to the HWPL on the 7th Annual Commemoration of the Declaration of Peace and Cessation of War, or the DPCW. I salute your peace works and efforts towards the establishment of sustainable peace through international cooperation. Now, as a peace-loving individual myself, events such as these remind us all how global unity is the pathway towards the eradication of violence and conflict. I am one with you in your campaign to achieve international peace through the DPCW. We are one.
Hi, this is Tony of Boys Night Out of Magic 89.9, and I want to say congratulations to the HWPL on the 7th Annual Commemoration of the Declaration of Peace and Cessation of War. I express my support for your peace works and efforts towards the establishment of sustainable peace through international cooperation. As a peace-loving individual myself, I believe that events such as these serve as important reminders of the necessity for global unity and the eradication of violence and conflict. I am one with you in your campaign to legalize peace in the international level through the DPCW. We are one. Yeah, man.
Taken to foster peace in the global community. This video highlights HWPL's efforts towards peace and their impact. It'll help us recognize the importance and urgency of sustaining peace we have achieved together in today's world. Let's watch the video now. The Vietnamese war that has been lasting for 12 years is finally over. The UN Security Council and its permanent members, the US, UK, France, China, and Russia, announced an annexation of the Crimea, exacerbating the Ukraine crisis. Russia vetoed the Security Council's action on Ukraine. Russia's offense on Kyiv. However, the resolution has no legally binding force. The resolution has no legally binding force to prevent wars. The purpose of institutionalizing the international law is to achieve peace. Acting according to this law will prevent further wars and bring about peace. HWPL has been devoted to making the DPCW known to the world with its peace family. The DPCW has garnered full support from diverse civil societies and former and current presidents worldwide. The pandemic blocked us from meeting in person, yet our passion for working toward peace never withered. Grassroots activities calling for the institutionalization of the DPCW have continued. We raised our voice on the significance of sustainable peace and human rights to the international community. Youth Sovereignty Peace class has been undergoing in 50 countries, including Zambia, to address the lack of access to education for youth and citizens across the world. The DPCW Handbook Education delivered the value and spirit of peace to students of 27 law schools worldwide. The WARP office provides an opportunity to recognize differences, and religious peace camp provides experiences in cultures of different religions. Particularly, the peace education held in Ukraine, which on wars was more special. HWPL and all members of family worldwide are calling for the immediate cessation of war and peace. The Philippines has the most fruits of peace work among many countries. With Chairman Manny Lee's dedication at the center, the peace work put an end to the dispute between Islam and Catholicism that lasted for the past 50 years. The Philippines are now seeing peace settled through the realization of the DPCW's vision on peace, prohibiting the use of weapons, enabling peoples to determine their own fate, turning the weapons into productive tools, respecting different religious beliefs, bringing in harmony and understanding others, continuing a cultural peace through education will all help sustain peace and pass it down to our children. The signing of the Mindanao, Philippines Peace Agreement marking the 9th anniversary in 2023. At the Philippines' first National Peace Meeting, the request for institutionalizing January 24 as the Philippines National Peace was made, and it was delivered to the President. The changes in the Philippines prove the DPCW's 10 articles and 38 clauses are the answer to realizing peace. Peace is not a distant dream, but it has become a reality. Now is the time for the world peace. The 10 articles and 38 clauses of the DPCW will accomplish the cessation of war and world peace.
Next, we will have the progress report marking the 7th anniversary of the DPCW. It will be given by Mr. Pravin Parekh, the President of the Confederation of Indian Bar and Chairperson of the HWPL International Law Peace Committee. Please welcome him with a big hand.
Greetings to all my dear worldwide messengers of peace. Currently, I am also the President of the Indian Society of International Law, the President of Supreme Court Bar Society Limited, and the President of Confederation of Indian Bar. I was elected 6 times as the President of the Supreme Court Bar Association and times as the President of the Supreme Court Advocates on Record Association. Then they made a rule that you cannot be more than 4 times when I was already 16 times. Celebrating the 7th anniversary, I am pleased to meet all the peace messengers working all over the world for peace. In the past year, HWPL has conducted major activities to promote the values of the DPCW and realize the introduction of the DPCW. On 25th May, HWPL Chairman Lee Man-hee proclaimed the Declaration of World Peace, and later on 18 September 2014, 29 former heads of state, Supreme Court justices, and world leaders signed the agreement to propose the enactment of the international law for the cessation of wars and world peace, and promise for the implementation of the international law of peace at HWPL World Peace Summit. International law experts from 17 countries were appointed as the members of the HWPL International Law Peace Committee to lay the foundation for the drafting the Peace Declaration, and the Declaration of Peace and Cessation of War was finally drafted through several meetings. On 14th March 2016 at Seoul, the DPCW was proclaimed to the world. I participated as one of the members for the world peace. I have been participating in almost all important functions of HWPL in South Korea, as well as different parts of the world from 2014. HWPL has included clauses in the DPCW to prevent wars and intends to implement it as legally binding international law to leave a world of peace without wars for present and future generations. Therefore, we have made efforts to end wars and each permanent peace. For a peaceful resolution, efforts have been made to overcome through the strengthening communication. Also, we have done many activities for the institutional peace. I wish to make a peace as universal culture and norm. HWPL has been strengthening trust and communication, especially with youth, women, and civil society world alone, in solidarity through the activities to realize DPCW, such as Legislate Peace Project, WARP Office, and Peace Education, as well as activities to earn support for the DPCW ever since HWCL has proclaimed the declaration. As a result of this, HWPL signed MOUs with Pan-African Parliament, which is legislative body of the African Union consisting of 55 African countries, African countries, and the International Center for the Black Sea Baltic Studies and consensus practices, whose members are former heads of the Eastern European countries, as well as an MOA, which coalition of Caribbean leaders of the peace, whose members are former heads of the Parliament, and IGO consisted of 5 nations, and with 4 city libraries in Philippines. HWPL members also invited to hold many functions and events in different parts of India and have the pleasure of organizing those events. HWPL is increasing cooperation in realizing DPCW and peace activities. Central American Parliament in 2017, and as well as Philippines in 2019, and Mindanao in 2020, Manila in 2022, passed a resolution in support of the DPCW. A total of 257 signatures in support of DPCW have been conducted for high-level government officials. For the support at individual national level, there are a large number of countries have expressed their official support for the DPCW since 2018 till today. In January 2013, the Chief Minister of Bagzar Maro in Muslim Midelanto, a place that has been a disputed region in the Philippines for more than 40 years, but is transforming into a peaceful region, has signed in support of DPCW. In addition, Davao Province and Manila, the capital city of Philippines, have officially declared the support for the DPCW. In order to realize Articles 8 and 9 of the DPCW, proposed to resolve the root cause of the conflict between the religions, which is the main cause of the war. 278 World Alliance Religions Peace Offices in 130 countries are being operated, and last year 5597 meetings and dialogues went on. HWPL continues to teach the culture and spirit, peace to integers and children who will be the heroes in the future through HWPL Peace Education to maintain the word of peace mentioned in Article 10 of DPCW. Currently, 313 places in 47 countries are designated as peace academics, and 1,090 education sessions were conducted in 56 countries around the world last year. The work of achieving constitutional peace that HWPL and peace messengers are creating is a reality before our eyes. It is our work that will be done in the near future. Despite the global pandemic that began in 2020, HWPL's peace activities have continued without interruptions in the process of achieving institutional peace. HWPL plans to contribute to peace, education, and spreading a culture of peace for the establishment of continuous communication and trust. I would like to express my gratitude to everyone who are attending the 7th annual commemoration of the Declaration of Peace and Cessation of War and conclude the progress report. Thank you very much, brothers and sisters. Let us work together for peace in this year as well as, and of course, for all. World peace is so important today with powers of United States of America, Russia, China, and etc., etc. I am sure that the function of 7th anniversary of HWPL will be very successful. Hamsa Hamnida.
This time, let us welcome Vice Governor J.V. Tyrone Uy of the province of Davao de Oro, the first province in the Philippines that supported the DPCW to share with us the progress of peace and cessation of wars and hostilities in Davao de Oro in realization of the principles of DPCW in the province. Let us give him a warm round of applause.
Greetings from Davao de Oro. I am J.V. Tyrone Uy, the incumbent Vice Governor of this province, and also its former governor for 2 consecutive terms. It is my distinct honor to be the Speaker of the 7th Annual Commemoration of the Declaration of Peace and Cessation of War of the Heavenly Culture, World Peace, and Restoration Light of the Philippines, with the theme Institutional Peace, Strengthening Communication to Build Peace. When I was the governor, I made the attainment of just and lasting peace a paramount priority of my administration. I entered the governorship in 2016, and back then, our province is known as a conflict-torn community. We were considered the hotbed of the activities of many insurgent groups. These conflicts took toll on our ability to develop and maximize our economic potentials. As a result, a laggard economy and a dismal human development characterized Davao de Oro's landscape. But one significant impact of conflict, mostly unseen but highly consequential, is the divisiveness amongst our people. A trust deficit can be observed between the institutions of government and the people, and a wedge divides those who are on the pro-government and that of the anti-government. I made sure that we address this problem. Aside from solving the causes and triggers of armed conflict in Davao de Oro through the provision of essential public services to geographically isolated and disadvantaged areas, and life-changing programs on education, health, and nutrition. I also made sure that significant efforts will be exerted on enhancing our communication among our people. A kamustahan sa barangay or community dialogue is held from time to time for the people to discuss different issues of the community. Leaders reaching out to its constituent become a staple scenario. And community-based and local institutions are now active in listening, hearing the sentiments, whether positive or negative. In short, we have made the act of talking to one another a major peace priority. All our efforts bore fruit. On June 2022, Davao de Oro was officially declared an insurgency-free province, and communication played a good part in the attainment of this objective. Now, the province is traversing the path between being insurgency-free to actually being sustainably peaceful. Our people are looking for ways to sustain communication in order for peace to endure and last. Our province lesson remains instructive to other localities as well. I am confident that through HWPL's guidance, more areas will be appreciative of communication as a major peace initiative. I wish you all a successful event, and may peace be upon us all. Thank you and daghang salamat.
Resolution strongly supporting the declaration of peace and cessation of war in the Philippines. Davao City, Cotabato City, Palong, Davao del Norte, Manila City, Province of Davao de Oro,
Next, we will hear from the chairman of HWPL, who is leading various and innovative peace initiatives at a global scale. Let's welcome HWPL Chairman Lee Man-hee, a peace messenger and peace president dedicated to this cause of global peace. Please give him a big applause. So while I was traveling the world, some people came to me and asked to take a picture with me. So I asked them why they would want a photo. And they said, I saw this light being with you at all times. So they wanted to take a picture with me. But I said to them, I don't see that kind of light. How come you see it? Also, I visited a home of former president, and there was a woman standing before me, and she looked very surprised. I said hello, but she just stood still and looked surprised. And I met the former president and talked with him. And she came to me and said, when you entered, I didn't see you as a person, but I saw you as this great light entering in. This kind of event happened many times when I went to South America. I was eating breakfast at a hotel, and some people came to me and asked for a photo again. So I asked them, why would you want to take a picture with me? They said, we had to leave last night, but we stayed to take a picture with you. So why? Why is the reason? They said, when we saw you singing and dancing the other night, I saw this great light being with you. So we wanted to take a picture with you. Can we please take a picture? So I went there with a spoon in my hand. I went there to take a picture with them. And same thing happened when I went to the UN. Just like how a person uses a tool to do something, whatever power or authority it's given is with the one above, not with people on earth. And when I think about myself, I am more full than anyone else. That's what I think of myself. I'm nothing. But this kind of thing happens, and they tell me, and sometimes I even doubt, is this really true or not? And even the work of HWPL that I'm doing today, this kind of work I didn't start on my own. And the one above is using me as like a tool for his work. That's what I think. But the words spoken or the work being done is true. It's not fake or false. But when it comes to religion, I think religion is very difficult to understand. Should we believe or not? Will this event take place or not? These kind of questions we have regarding religion. Maybe if you're moved in your heart, you might be able to believe. But whether it's religious matter or worldly matter, I didn't do on my own. So traveling the world, going on these world peace tours, at all times, I traveled in my own clothes, and when I met someone, I didn't prepare things to say. I just went there, met with them, talked with them. And what's clear, there's one thing that's clear, that there is someone using me. And I'm just speaking things that I saw and heard. For thousands of years in this world, people have suffered from wars and conflicts. People and all creation created, if they were created by the Creator, why is everyone in pain and suffering? Perhaps many people ask this kind of question. And I also used to have that kind of question. But even in the religious world, I realized many things. In the Christian world, there are 66 books in the Bible, and there's that last book, only about 20 pages. but there's no one who understands the meaning of that book. No one understanding the meaning or the reality of those words recorded in that book. Whether they're scholars or professors, they don't understand. However, the one who made that book, before he reveals it, no one can understand. Then how am I able to? How did I come to understand the meaning and the reality of the words recorded in that book? I don't want to talk much about this. I feel like the more I learn, the more I don't want to speak about it. But the problem is, whatever is recorded in that book, the one who recorded it knows, not people here on earth. And that one who recorded it will fulfill it. It will be according to his will. So the reason why I'm saying this is, while I'm going around, I want to explain the reason why I'm going around the world proclaiming peace, working for peace all around the world. When 2,000 years ago, when Jesus was born, an angel said, "Glory in heaven, peace on earth." When Jesus went to Jerusalem and spoke, he said, "Jerusalem, Jerusalem, it would have been better if you knew about peace." But Jesus, he was crucified in the end. You might think, oh, isn't this death inevitable? And that person died and he resurrected. We know this from the records in the scriptures. And because of this, peace being achieved, wars happening in the world, this happens according to someone's will. People in the world, like I said, I've gone on 32 world peace tours and no one refused peace. Everyone wanted peace. But it cannot be achieved with just a snap of a finger. We have to make the effort to achieve peace. That way, we can achieve peace. Whether it's the heavens speaking or the earth speaking, just talking about peace cannot make it happen. Everyone wants peace. When everyone's doing the work of peace, then that kind of world of peace will come in the end. And that's what I believe always. And why do I think that way? There are many people in this world, and this world, religious world too. There are many different religions. And like I said earlier, this one book, only a few pages, 14 pages. It's been 2,000 years since it was recorded, but no one understands it. And the one who we can understand it only when the one who recorded it reveals it. And do I have to go around talking about it? No. People with knowledge will talk, but people without knowledge will be silent. So now, when it comes to knowledge of there's nothing above knowledge from heaven. But the more I understand, the more I don't want to speak about it. So peace, I believe peace should start from homes. It should be educated from homes. Secondly, peace education should be introduced to schools as well. Those words should go into students' hearts and minds, and so that they can put into action. Then peace will be achieved. If these conflicts continue on, peace will never come. In the word peace, there's one thing to think about. We are people of flesh, but that is different from our minds. Flesh can be killed, but spirits cannot be killed. One can kill one's flesh, but not their spirit. So spirit is living. Even though flesh is dead, their spirit is living. Then one day, at some point, that spirit will exist as a being. So today, as we are making the effort, putting into action what we learn, what we need to do is educate peace in homes, in families, and also in schools too. If you look at this one book Bible, the contents about peace, why is it there? How can you resolve the issue of sin? That's what I think about. So there are things we learn from people, and there are also things we learn from God. But things from God, they're difficult to understand. And because I learned, then I have the knowledge. In the world of humanity, if people's minds are governed by the Creator, then we will enter into this blessed time, a blessed world. And when will that happen? In the religious world, there is a record when that will happen, after which event and which event. We hope this will happen tomorrow. But there is a process that the heavens do this work. And this process is recorded in the scriptures. We can find it there. So those with knowledge will understand, but those who don't have the knowledge, they will just think in an ordinary way. If we don't have any knowledge, then the world would be very complicated. But because there is knowledge, we teach and learn, and we can live in a more orderly way. I believe that is the case. So what is religion? Why there has to be religion? It's because there is sin. So religion is a way of educating people not to commit sin. So we want a good world to come. If there is the Creator of heaven and earth, we want the Creator to come and live with people. Then the world will become a beautiful place. A poet in India foretold foretold about this country, Korea, and I read the record about it. And then he said, please remember my country, India. How did I come to read this poem? One minister of justice brought it to me, brought the record to me, so I saw it. And perhaps that person, the poet, recorded it with the vision, with the revelation from heaven. Today, for peace and cessation of war, this day exists, and all of you have gathered together. We hope wars will come to an end and peace will be achieved in this world. We should look at the words of the prophets in the old times and realize something. And we shouldn't fight amongst ourselves, but help one another. Peace is not elsewhere, that is peace itself. So we should make that kind of effort. That's what I think. One thing I wanted to say, there's a book of Christianity, and there's the last book in the Bible. And in that book, it prophesies about the end of the world. But you see that there's one era coming to an end and a new era starting. And I memorized it. I memorized the contents. It almost became my flesh and blood. I read it to that point. There are good things and also bad things. It's only a few pages, but in the world of in the religious world, for these past 2,000 years, no one understood that meaning. If there's anyone who understands, I will ask, but there is no one. And it explains that end of the age. It says, first heaven and first pass away, and new heaven and new earth are created. If first heaven and first earth pass away, does that mean people will also pass away? You might think that way. That's recorded in the religious scripture. That's what it says. In those few pages. If there is a saying about death, there's also a saying about life. If there's something that you can touch and see, you will acknowledge it, but what is there to verify? So regarding religion, after being dispatched from military service in a large field, I pray to the one above. I had no idea of any religion or church at the time. Then one night, this big star came to see me. It seemed like a star, but when it came close to me, it was this bright light. So I couldn't see clearly because it was too bright. I was there in a large field, and there I stayed in a small house with my father. So I ran to my father and said, "Father, the star came to me." That's kind of unbelievable, but I was telling the truth to my father. So he came out with me and said, "This star is so big and bright." So he was very surprised. Because of this event, I pledged my allegiance to God in blood and started my life of faith. I say religion, but peace is the best. When Jesus was born, the angel said, "Glory in heaven, peace on earth." When Jesus went to Jerusalem, he said, "It would have been better if you knew about peace." So this is peace that we're talking about. In the sinful world, people fight with each other. There are many conflicts, but that's not peace. Even if you have peace on your own, that's not peace. The whole world, everyone, if everyone practice peace, practice love, there will be no more conflict, no more fighting. In order to do so, what we need is love. Love our neighbors as ourselves. We have to love one another. Then wars will come to an end. This is how we should live our lives. We are not two, but we are one. We should live together as one. The members of the International Law Peace Committee have come and joined us today. Why is it necessary to implement this international instrument? That is because when the United Nations, I heard that United Nations was founded for peace, but what we want is a peaceful world without war. However, the current international law is not enough to bring all wars to an end, prevent all wars. So Russia started a war. Russia is a member of the UN Security Council, and they started a war. Because there is something wrong, we want a new instrument. So the members of the International Law Peace Committee drafted the 10 articles and 38 clauses. This is to bring all wars to an end, to prevent conflicts. For this purpose, the declaration was drafted, and now it has to be implemented. The 10 articles and 38 clauses were drafted, but because of COVID, we could not go abroad. We just stayed home because of COVID. But nowadays, the restrictions have been lifted. So should we just leave the 10 articles and 38 clauses as they are, on paper? We have to compare the previous law and the new law and put into action what's better, implement what's better. Members might know this story as well. I went to the United Kingdom, and there is the headquarters of ILC. And I went to one university and gave a speech. So I talked to the audience that if the current international law is good, there wouldn't be need to make a new one, but we, members of the International Law Peace Committee, created these 10 articles and 38 clauses. And I told them about it. What do you think? Which is better? And they agreed that what I told them about is better. If there's some fault, we correct it. we fix it. And if there's something better, we go with that. So with the 10 articles and 38 clauses, we should introduce to the United Nations so that they can put it to a vote and approve of it. So we had that in our minds, but because of COVID, we couldn't make those moves. But from now on, we should review again. The members of the committee are here today, so we should review again and bring it to the United Nations for their approval. If they say approve, then it will be approved. This is not this law doesn't apply just to others, but it applies to the members of the committee as well. So we should do our best to review them and then introduce to the United Nations. And they will, I believe, they will put it to a vote. And if it's approved, then it will be implemented. There will be a date when the United Nations was founded. If the law was complete, a new thing wouldn't be necessary. But because that wasn't the case, a new instrument was drafted. But we should still review it and be approved, submitted to the United Nations for approval. So members of the committee, let's do that work, revise it, review it, so we can submit it to the United Nations. If they say this is better than the previous law, they will go with that, the new one. What we need to do is fix the fault, correct it, and make it better. This is peace and cessation of war. If wars happen, the young lives will be sacrificed. Why must this happen? When the Korean War broke out, I was a veteran. I fought in the front lines of the Korean War, and I experienced many things firsthand. When the war is broke out, there are firing of shooting and firing from both sides, and everyone is desperate to survive. They're fighting not with the soldiers, but with the bombs and with gunfires. How can they survive? I was a soldier at the front line, and I experienced this many times. If I retreat, there's no one waiting for us with food. They don't come with food. So there are many people who starve and die. These young lives, these young ones, they die and they lose their lives. I held a conference at the UN cemetery in Busan, and those who were lying there, they were my comrades. And I said to the audience, ask my comrades what war it was like. So that's why I held the conference there. Of course, the nation fought that war to protect the nation and the people, but does it have to be a war? They should settle disputes through dialogue. That's why there are international laws. Young lives shouldn't be sacrificed. So we must achieve peace and cessation of war as a lasting legacy for future generations. Who should do that? It should be us doing that work. So let all of us become messengers of peace, create a world of peace together. Let's do that. What is true love for our children and grandchildren? That is to achieve peace and hand it down to our children. Let's really do that. Today's HWPL 7th Annual Commemoration of the DPCW. Everyone who's joining this commemoration, please remember these words. Let's leave a legacy of peace. Please remember this. And let all of us become messengers of peace. Those who work with international law, they're all here with us. We should not let the words remain on paper, but we should submit them to the United Nations. I've been going around, traveling the world many times. Why? So that the declaration can be introduced to the United Nations and they can acknowledge it and approve it. That's why I've been meeting with the officials of the UN, asking them, urging them to acknowledge this declaration. So, members of the committee who have drafted this declaration, please review and revise them so that they can be approved by the UN. I believe that way it will be implemented. I'm always working for a world of peace. And peace should start from every home, every family, and school. Recently, I visited Mindanao, Philippines, and met many leaders there. And I talked about peace education. I talked about peace education at universities as well. And the students also agreed that it's necessary. So until it's all completed, let's not come to a stop, but work together to achieve peace. Everyone, thank you so much.
The global population has recently crossed the new threshold of 8 billion. Where is the globe heading to after all its brilliant advancements? Is it war or peace? Let's find it out in the video. The DPCW beginning of world peace. Hello, my name is Ashley Jacob and I'm 9 years old. I live in Davao City, Mindanao, Philippines. I remember a scary story my mom told me about when she was little. She said that she saw some really scary things happening in Mindanao. There was loud gunfire that sounded like fireworks and people were dying because of the war. It was so scary that she couldn't go outside very often. Whenever I hear my mom's sad story, I get scared. And I pray, please don't let what happened to my mom happen to me. I don't want to live in fear. And I think all children feel the same way. I pray for peace to win every day. Peace in our village, for our family, peace in our school. Peace is my hope. I'm very grateful to be participating in HWPL's Peace Education. Thanks to those who visited our country many times and taught us peace education, many children like me have gained hope. Now we can have a brighter and more peaceful future. I want to say thank you to Chairman Manny Lee for bringing peace to the Philippines. I will study hard to learn HWPL's peace education so that I can spread peace like Chairman Lee. Now I can proudly tell everyone that there is peace in Mindanao because of HWPL. I really hope that peace will come to all the people around the world. With lots of love and thanks from peaceful Mindanao.
Wow, how wonderful, isn't it? And please give them another round of applause. Thank you so much for staying with us up to this point. We move on to the next part of the program, the awarding of the Certificate of Appreciation from Korea. Let's watch this video.
Award of Appreciation. HWPL presents this award with deep gratitude to Ronald L. Adamat, Commissioner, Commission on Higher Education, and recognition of the outstanding accomplishments as a peace messenger and a contribution to conflict resolution and peace in the Philippines. Given on the 5th of February 2023, signed by Lee Man-hee, Chairman of Heavenly Culture World Peace Restoration Flag.
Congratulations once again, Commissioner Adamat. For our next awardee, let's watch this video.
Award of Appreciation. HWPL presents this award with deep gratitude to Ahod B. Ibrahim Al-Hajj, Chief Minister of Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, in recognition of the outstanding accomplishment as a peace messenger and a contribution to conflict resolution and peace in the Philippines. Given on the 5th of February 2023, signed by Lee Man-hee, Chairman of Heavenly Culture World Peace Restoration Flag.
Once again, congratulations, Commissioner Adamat and Chief Minister Ibrahim, our champions for peace. As we have witnessed, HWPL is continuously working for peace up to this moment. That's why we would like to continue this initiative together with you, our dear peace advocates. So for us to explain about the HWPL membership, let us welcome one of the national coordinators of HWPL from the Peace Education Department, Ms. Aleka Fajardo. A warm of applause, please.
Para sa mga batang nakaranas ng trahedyang dulot ng digmaan, baril ang imahe ng kapayapaan at malayo ang larawan ng isang magandang kinabukasan. Kawalan ng kabuhayan, oportunidad at edukasyon ay parehong dahilan at resulta ng mga kaguluhan. Tanong ng iilan, posible nga bang makamit ang kapayapaan? Posible bang makasan ang mga digmaan? Ang kapayapaan ay magiging posible kung tayong lahat ay magtutulungan. Ang kapayapaan ay hindi lamang responsibilidad ng mga kapulisan, mga sundalo, o ng mga may posisyon sa gobyerno. Ito ay responsibilidad ng lahat ng tao, matanda man o bata, mahirap o mayaman. Lahat tayo ay may magagawa upang makamit ang isang mundong mapayapa at wakasan ang mga digmaan. Mayroon tayong tungkulin at kakayanan na iprotektahan ang kinabukasan ng mga kabataan sa susunod na henerasyon. Sa loob ng 10 taon, ito ang advokasya ng Heavenly Culture World Peace Restoration of Light or HWPL. Sa patuloy na paglago ng aming organisasyon, kami ay nakatuon sa pagbuo ng isang komunidad na susuporta sa aming mga layunin para sa kapayapaan. Sa gitna ng patuloy ng mga digmaan sa iba't ibang panig ng mundo, naniniwala kami na sa ating pagsama-sama, hindi imposible ang pagkamit ng kapayapaan. So we are inviting everyone to become a peace builder with a shared mission. Bilang isang peace builder, malayo ang mararating ng inyong kontribusyon para sa pagsuporta ng mga sumusunod na inisyatibo. Una, integration of peace education in basic and higher education curricula. Pangalawa, distribution of educational supplies in schools and communities. Pangatlo, establishment of peace corners in libraries. Pang-apat, disaster relief operation programs. Panglima, feeding program and donations to the vulnerable sector at marami pang iba. As a peace builder, you will receive a membership kit which contains an HWPL membership ID with a unique QR code and certificate of membership. Invitations to HWPL's international and local events, including the World Peace Summit in South Korea, HWPL monthly e-newsletter, and an opportunity to submit your interesting and inspiring story related to peace and volunteerism. HWPL WARP Office Journal, which contains news updates and information on interfaith dialogues. HWPL Peace Education ebook materials and Priority Lane in HWPL events. Ang premium membership ay nagkakahalaga ng 1,200 pesos habang ang mga estudyante ay eligible para sa 50% discount. Sa pamamagitan ng inyong membership contribution, kayo ay magiging opisyal na miyembro ng HWPL na makakapagbahagi sa mismong misyong ipamana ang kapayapaan sa mga susunod na henerasyon. Be an HWPL member. Be a peace builder. Sign up now!
Once again, thank you, Ms. Aleka Fajardo. And I believe we have understood the HWPL membership. Early this year, we also opened the membership through our Facebook page. We will announce this news to the world to remember this historical event. The value of news is its promptness. No matter how significant the news is, it loses its value as time goes by. Therefore, we must become the eyes and ears in our respective countries to promptly report news of today's events. Remember, with hope, we can do all things when we are one. As a sign of unity and vow to a peaceful world, let us join our hearts and voices in singing our closing song. Let us sing together. You may also unmute and sing with us.
시대는 가고 평화의 세상 펼쳐질 거야. 너와 내가 함께 한다면 지금껏 이루지 못했던 평화를 이루는 방법이 여기 있잖아. 바로 평화의 사전을 우리가 이아와 우리 함께 만들어가요.
Our beautiful and golden voices sound like the voice of peace. Thank you so much for singing beautifully. And to remember this very important 7th anniversary of the DPCW celebration with you throughout generations, we will have the commemorative photos. We will hold it for 10 seconds. For the first photo, let's pose with the number 1 sign and say, "We are one." In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, we are one. For the second photo, let's pose with a peace sign like this. And say peace. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Peace. And for the last photo, let's pose with the heart sign, and you might also click the heart reaction in the Zoom and say love. Love. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Love. Thank you everyone for being with us, and see you again in our next event. To all of you, the precious family of peace and HWPL representatives around the world, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for celebrating with us. Please take care always, and let's always work for peace and be in peace. May peace be with us all. Peace be in the Philippines. Peace be in the whole world. Thank you so much. May the law of peace of heaven be on earth. Once again, I'm Tina Ryan. Have a great and peaceful day.